Alright, so we're ready to create our branch for step 202. First thing we need to do is go ahead and make sure that our work environment is set up, that we're good to go, and we don't get in a place where we need to get to something and we forget what we were doing because we didn't have something open. And so we always try to make sure that we have ourselves positioned for success. So the first thing we want to do is just make sure that we have access to the published site, the actual site that we're going to work in, and what it looks like and where we're headed. The next thing that we want to do is make sure that our local host is running and we have a copy on there and that's working, no errors. We want to go ahead and open up our inspect panel, our console, so that we can identify errors before we push them to the server as we're working on this menu in this step. Next thing, we want to make sure that our host is open, that our control panel is open, and that we can access everything that we might need, such as our file system on the server, things of that nature. Following that, it's always a good idea, make sure your GitHub repository is open. You can see what's going on and check out where you're at. And right now we know our last branch was 201 and we're sitting on master, which 201 has been merged into master. The next thing we'll go ahead and check going to Dreamweaver. I'm using Dreamweaver. You could be using Atom or whatever it is that you're using. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that we in fact are connected to our site, have our site open. As you can see, I was not ready, so I'm going to my 2xx. The other thing I'm going to do is check and make sure that I'm connected to my remote server. All looks good there. I'll go ahead back to local, and we'll go ahead and also check and just see how we're doing with Git. Is Git open? Does it show our branches? It does, and that way we can see and track what's going on in there. We also want to be sure that we have our lesson open so we can access any kind of lesson resources or anything of that nature, and Canvas open just so it's there, so that if we need it, we have what we need. Alright, so great. At this point we've checked everything, we've checked our connections, and we can go ahead into our using Cmder, whatever it is that you're using, and I'm already in my branch. I've already come to my repository, my 2xx, my master branch is open. I'm sitting there, and so the first thing that I want to do is go ahead and do a git status, make sure I have a clean starting point, which I do. That's great. Next thing, might as well go ahead and do a git branch -a and look at all my branches, make sure that they look like they do on GitHub, and I'm actually good to get started, and they're there. I'm going to go ahead and do a clear and clean that up a little bit. So now that I feel that everything looks good, what I can do now is do git checkout -b. So I'm going to check out and create a branch all at the same time. And I'm going to do my 202-0 and hit enter. So at this point it's created the branch and it has switched to it. We can see that we're in there. Again, if we do a git branch all, we can see now that we're inside our 202. We can see right here is our 202 branch, and we'll clear that again. Now that we're in there, we'll go and we'll do one last check in Dreamweaver or whatever ID you're working in, if you have that Git capability, and we can see that it is sitting on the right branch, and we are good to go. So we're ready to go ahead and get started with our project. See you in the next video.